Good everyone. Yeah, welcome to today's topic, financial arithmetic. So we're going to be looking at different aspects of financial arithmetic. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to, one, calculate simple interest given the principal, rate, and time. Two, calculate the compound interest using the formula. Determine the depreciation value of an item. Okay, so simple and compound interest. With simple interest, the amount of interest paid is not reinvested. So with compound interest, the amount of interest paid is reinvested and hence interest itself. So basically, this is the formula for simple interest. So we have the I equals PRC over 100, where I is the interest, P is the principal, that's the money borrowed or invested. R is the rate, then the time it will take. Okay, over 100. So I is equal to PRT over 100. P is principal, R is rate, T is time. So we have a amount is equal to principal plus I. So amount is the total money paid back. If, for instance, somebody takes 1,000 naira from you, maybe you charge that person 200 naira interest. Amount is the total amount money is going to give back to you. That'll be 1,000. The money that person lent from you plus the interest 200. That'll be 1,200. So the amount is equal to P plus I. So for compound interest, basically we can use the formula for simple interest to get anything under compound interest. So we can work it on yearly basis and we get the value for compound interest. But also compound interest as the formula is given as A is equal to P bracket 1 plus R over 100 raised to power T. So where I is simple interest, A is equal to, okay, for this one, I is simple interest. Here is, this one is 1, okay? So A is total amount, P is principal, R is rate, T is time in year. So this one is 1, A, not I. Okay, so of course, they will still equally have what's called depreciation. So when you have a particular, maybe assets, could be a vehicle or something that you have, so it may be depreciating in value. So we can get total amounts of depreciation over a period of time. So A is the amount, what will be left after a certain period of time. P is the initial value, R is the rate, T is time. How long are you calculating the depreciation value? So the difference between duration and compound interest is this sign. So for compound interest is plus, for depreciation is minus. So you have to take note of that. Also, don't forget when you use the compound interest formula or for depreciation, A is the amount. So it's going to calculate the interest and the initial money together. So you get the answer when you use formula, you get amount. So if you have to find interest, you have to subtract principal from amount to get your interest. Because if you are looking for interest from inside, for instance, this one will be A minus P. It's equal to I. This one is I. That's the interest. Okay, so let's move on. So example 1. Joe invests $400 for 6 months at 5%. Work out the simple interest. So here now we have the formula for simple interest. I is equal to PRC over 100. So that will be 400 times 6 times 5 over 100. So of course, okay. So over 100. So that will give us 10. Okay. That will give us 10. So we have that. So 6 months is 0.5. So that's half of a year. That's 1 over 2 times 1. That's 0.5. So we have to be 10. The interest there is 10. Okay, we have to find the amount. That will be 400 plus 10. That will be 40. In this case, we have to find interest gained. Okay, let's move on. For question 2, calculate the simple interest on a $6,000 loan at rate of 8%. per annum, PA per annum over 4 years. Hence, find the total amount. So we're looking for amount A. First, get the interest using the formula. So we have P is 6,000, R is 8%, T is 4. So we have our high to be equals to 6,000 times 8 times 4 over 100. And that's $1,920. So the amount is P plus I. So that will be the initial money taken plus the interest. So that will be 7,920. That's the answer to that. So let's move on. For example 3, P9 invested for 4 years at R% simple interest per annum yields 0.36 Naira interest. So this is the interest. Find the value of R. So using the same formula, we are looking for P, and we are given I to be 0.36P. There should be PA. So there should be PF as given in the question. So once we have that, plug the values into the equation. We have 0.36P is equal to P times R times 4 over 100. So cross multiply, we have 0.36P times 100 equals to 4PR. So divide through by P. So we have it to be 36 equal to 4R. So divide through by 4, R is equal to 9%. Okay, so we have that. Let's move on. So let's take example on compound interest. For compound interest, for example, for Natalie invests $600 for 2 years at 10% per annum by year compound interest. How much interest does she earn? So don't forget, when you use formula, you get the amount for. So we use this formula. This one is amount. To get interest, you have to subtract it from the money that person invested. I mean, from the subtract the money invested from the amount. So we have 600 plus 1. So in this case, first ensure that you do you tackle this one first, 10 over 100. So that's 0.1. You now add it together before you square. Don't open the bracket. Just add these two together. First, find the value of this one. Okay, add together. That'll be 600. Oh, there's a mistake here. This should be 600. So that should be 600. Okay, times 1.1 square. So you type 1.1 square. Let's check that out. So 1.1 square. So that's 1.21. So times 600. So that's times 600. So, okay, 726. So the answer there, the amount there should be 726. So let's check it out. So we have to be, okay, good, 1.21. So that's 726. That's kind of an answer. This is total money, P plus I. So we are looking for I. So subtract that 600 from 726. So we have to be 126. Okay, this is another question. Bleda invests $8,000 in a bank at 5% per annum compound interest. How much money will he have in bank after 2 years? So this one is total amount. So use the formula directly and you get your answer. So we have to be 8,000. That will be 8,000 bracket 1 plus 5 over. First do this one. 5 divided by 100. That's 0.05. Add it to 1. That will be 1.05. Then you square it. Square this value first. Don't just multiply this and then square. No. First, work out what this one will give you. So that will be 1.1025 times 8,000. That will be 8820. So that marks the end of that question because we have to find the amount. So let's continue. An investment of 5,500 amounted to 8,000 after 4 years of compound growth. What is the annual rate of growth? We're looking for RL. So this is our P, this is our A, okay, and our T is 4 years. So we have it like that. So divide through by 5,000 A. So don't forget this one will be R divided by 100. That's 0.01 R. So divide through by 5,550. So we have to be 1.4545 equals to 1 plus this. Then you take the fourth root. So take the product of that, and that gives that give us that will be 1.0982 minus 1. So take this one away from it. We have to do that. So our R is equal to 9.82%. Okay, let's take one example on depreciation. For depreciation, you see something like loss or depreciate. So in motorbike loss and loses 25% of its value every year. A Atin bought it for 720. How much will it be worth after 2 years? So that's the initial value there. That's 720. Then let's look at the first one. So after 2 years, T is 2. So our R is 25 and P is 720. So we have minus, but don't forget in depreciation is minus. So we have it to 720 times 0.75 squared. 720 times 0.5625. That's $405. That's the total amount after 2 years. For 3 years, it's follow the same process. 720, then it is 3. So we have 1 minus 0.25. 0.75 raised to power 3. 720 times 0.421875. That's 303.75. Okay, so that's just how you approach questions on the financial arithmetic. The part one will continue next week. So make sure that you do your assignment and attempt a quiz. So have a nice day.